Well, this was fun. Welcome. Welcome to episode 2 of Well, This Was Fun. And we are really excited today because what are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk about how we met. There's 2 versions to the story. There's only one correct version, which will be mine, but you will hear both versions of the story.
All right, so we met way back in...
Or you're just diving in, huh?
I was going to dive back in. Do you want me to
maybe
kind of linger in?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you guys for joining us today. We're figuring out this podcast thing. So if you're joining us for the first time, it's going to be a little messy.
Yep.
And a little all over the place. Mm-hmm. And it just might stay that way because that's kind of how we roll. And we've never done a podcast before. I've wanted to for a long time with him because he's such a goofy guy. And I just think the world needs to see it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they think that.
Well, if you let that side out of you.
You say goofy, I say awkward.
I love awkward.
I know you do.
Awkward is the best.
Yeah.
Weird is the best.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So we have been married, almost 17 years?
Oh, you're just going to dive right in?
Well, I thought maybe we tell them a little bit about where we are now, and then we go back.
I'm just doing what you did to me. Okay, good. Great.
Yes.
What's the word? Segue.
Yes.
Great segue.
Yes. So we've been married almost 17 years. We have 6 kids. Youngest is 7, oldest is 16. And we've had quite the journey.
Sure have.
I'm sure over the course of this podcast, you guys will hear all about it. If you haven't already heard all about it through Megan's social media.
Yeah.
A lot of times people know more about our journey than I do.
Plug at Megan Joy Today on Instagram and TikTok and catch up on all the fun stuff.
Yeah. So, I'm sure they'll hear all about the journey. But today we're just going to talk about how we met.
Yeah. We have a lot of our story that we want to share from the past year and a half of like crazy stuff. The hand motion again. Crazy stuff that has happened to us. Okay.
Remember, you could recenter it by doing another.
All right. We had some technical difficulties. So we've had a really crazy past year and a half and just some insane stories. And we didn't share them publicly the whole time that they were happening. Only people in real life knew. And so we were kind of teetering back and forth, like, do we want to share these things publicly or do we not? And he is absolutely more private. I talk with my hands. Okay. This is so hard. Okay, I'm going to tuck it in here so I don't talk with my hands. He's definitely more private and I am an open book. So that's actually a great topic for one of our podcast episodes in the future because we've had to learn what that looks like with both of us, with me respecting the privacy of our family and him stretching himself to, allow me to be public as I am with things too. So, and finding the balance with that. And that's also been like a checks and balances situation because I feel like I just used to say whatever I wanted to say, and now I usually check in first.
Yes.
So that'd be a good, don't you think that'd be a good?
I think that would be a good one.
Yeah.
Especially because I recently read Reddit about how upset a lot of people were that you shared about my sperm count situation.
Yeah, and I still don't care about that. They can think that it's weird. I wanted to share about it, and I do not.
It's kind of weird, but
it is, but I don't regret it because I felt like when people shared specific information, I was like, man, that was so helpful. I'm really glad that they shared that. Right. So if me sharing the information on your sperm analysis was helpful to somebody, then I'm happy about that.
The only thing that made it weird was a lot of my coworkers follow you. And
Yeah.
at work, they were asking about it, like, so I read
I
her post.
I realize I mess with a lot of your work situations because of what
Yes,
I share.
yes.
And I
It's all good. It's all
apologize.
good.
I
You
apologize.
make up for it with everything else that
Oh,
comes with the business. So
thank
it's all
you.
good.
Thanks, babe. I appreciate it. So we are going to share a lot of the stories because I do think that I wanted to share them, and I'll go more in depth in this. I wanted to share them because I feel like it'll be a little bit more of a healing process because some really crappy stuff happened to us. And B, I feel like it could be helpful for those who might have in the past or currently experiencing anything like we did and feel a little bit less alone in it. And C, I don't want to say like I don't want to put anybody on blast, but I absolutely want to kind of clear our name, our reputation, be able to share our perspective and our experiences. I don't care so much about defending ourselves, but I do care about the other side of it being shared
Yeah, I mean,
because
and it'll feel nice to put some people on blast.
let's just be honest.
Let's be honest here.
Okay. So we didn't want to launch our podcast and just throw a bunch of all of this crazy stuff at it. So we want to ease into it and kind of give some backstory, talk about some things, banter back and forth. Banter is one of my favorite things. I'm going to say that a lot on this podcast. You will hear the word banter a lot because I'm excited to just banter with you.
Okay.
So we will get into some of the crazy stories, but we want to just give you a feel for what we're all about.
Mm-hmm.
So let's begin.
Let's.
Okay.
Why don't you give your version of the story
I
first?
think I should. Oh, okay.
And then I'll go.
How detailed are we making this?
Be as detailed as you want.
Okay.
Share it all. I mean, don't be too detailed.
Not too detailed, but you know what you're saying. Okay. So it was a crisp summer day, and no, I'm just kidding. I don't know what the weather was like. Okay, so I didn't go to college. He did, and he played on the college basketball team with my older brother. So I knew who he was. He was on the team. I was not interested. I love you now, honey, so much. Let's keep in mind, I was a fresh 19-ish year old at the time. I was very selfish, very self-centered, very self-focused. Okay, so I didn't have a grasp on reality. I don't want to share this story.
Yes, you have to share.
Okay. I was at all of my brother's games, and I don't know why my dad and I were having this conversation, but I was rating all of the basketball players on the team in order of like, I don't know if it was like who I would date or who I thought it was the cutest or something like that. And this was the conversation I was having with my dad.
It was who you would date.
Was it?
At least that's what he told me. Which of the players on the team you would date?
My dad told you this story?
Was it? Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he
He
did.
probably doesn't even remember
This
this.
was years ago.
He probably doesn't even remember this.
Yes.
I'll call him right now.
Yeah, you never told me this story. He told me this story.
Okay, I'm gonna fact check that. I don't think Dad remembers this. Anyways,
You talked to me about it after I
Yeah.
asked you about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I rated them from like whoever was the cutest to me, or in his opinion, whoever I would date. I didn't even know why would I date. I don't know. I didn't know anybody. Anyways, also I had like one boyfriend ever for a very short stint, so I wouldn't like date. Guys aren't interested in me, so okay. Do you see me really trying to avoid?
Yeah, you
saying
are
the
trying to
next
avoid it. It's just like, let's tell the story.
Okay, so I'm making this list. I don't know if I was just saying it or if I actually wrote it down, but he was like almost last on the list.
No, see, you're not You said so. It
What?
was. This wasn't a list or rankings. This was your dad going down the line of our roster and him asking you, would you date this one? Would you date this guy? Would you date this one? And when you guys got to me, you said no because his name is Seaborn.
His name?
His name is Seaborn.
His birth name is Seaborn. And he goes by his middle name. So he goes by Nathan. His middle name is Nathaniel. And I miss you going by your first name. Now I love.
Even though she wasn't willing to date me because my
his
name
name
was
was
Seaborn.
so weird.
But now that I changed my name, she all of a sudden loves.
I want you to go
Seaborn.
back. I call him Siebes. That's my nickname for him. So it's really hard having conversations with other people when I don't call you Nathan, and I never will call you Nathan. But that's what everybody knows him as.
Maybe we'll have a
We
podcast
should.
about that.
We should have a whole a tell-all.
A tell-all about how you don't want to respect what my desires.
You want me to call you Nathan? That would be so weird. I have your birth
I think
name
it's weird when you
tattooed
call
on
me
me.
Seaborn now.
Oh no.
When I hear you say it, I'm like, huh?
Well, because I call you Siebes.
Yeah, but sometimes you say Seaborn, and it's kind of weird. Anyways,
We will do
Stay
a
on-
whole
stay on track.
episode on that. We're going to do, I got to take notes of what we want to do episodes on. Okay, so now that you know what a horrible person I was at that time in life, because he wanted me to share that story. Moving on. So he was my brother's teammate, and it's a little cloudy, from here, but I don't know the exact timeline of things. I want to say, did we see each other out? Is that what happened next?
tell what you remember.
I don't remember the timeline,
I'll
man.
tell my part.
Are we just going to talk about that night that we first talked?
Just tell whatever version of the story you want.
Or are we going into all of the dates and the whole timeline? Because this is going to be an hour then.
There's no guidelines.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try to. I can be very long winded, sir. So, there was this club in downtown Minneapolis that we both went to. And I went on a certain night of the week, and he went on a certain night of the week. I went on Sundays to Cream, and he went on Thursdays to Spin. If anybody's from Minnesota, you know what we're...
I went both nights, but okay.
Okay. Okay, so I think, but this was a spin night. This was a
Yes.
Thursday spin night, right?
Yes.
So I saw him out with some friends. I don't know. And I think we talked on Facebook.
Teammates. Yep.
Teammates. I think we had talked on Facebook or something like that, Messenger or something like that. And now I'm a PK. I am a pastor's kid. And I was not supposed to be at the dance club. I was 19, but I was so nervous that my parents were going to find out that I was dancing at the club. Sorry, Mom and Dad, I love you. So he was there with his teammates, and I was like, crap. My brother's teammate is here, and he's going to see me here. He's going to tell my brother. My brother's going to tell my parents.
Ranked the lowest.
And he was such a turd because he was wearing sunglasses at the club at night. Who does that? Oh my goodness. So, that already shares a lot. I'm just kidding. Anybody who wears sunglasses at night, be you, okay? I just don't get it. So I went up to him and I specifically asked him not to tell my brother that he saw me there. And I know your story. I know you wanted me to go first so that you could debunk everything that I'm saying.
It's all right. Keep going.
And I think we talked and, just said hi, bantered back and forth, but I was like, please don't tell my brother that you saw me here. And then I think we talked later that night, and I think I wanted to reiterate that you would not tell him that you saw me there. His side of the story is going to be so different. I know it. And then I think we talked a little bit. After that, we went on a date. We saw Premonition, the movie, and with Sandra Bullock. That's what I remember. And hung out. And I remember another date. He came over with a teammate and hung out with me and my cousin. And I think we were playing cards. And this is another horrible story about me. I was really not a great person. I don't know what was wrong with me. Honestly, I was not nice. I remember thinking, this is so boring. I literally don't want to be sitting here playing cards with these people. And I think I just got up from the table. I went in my room and shut the door, and I put a movie on my VCR TV combo and watched a movie. And I didn't even say goodbye or anything. I don't know why I was so cruel. I was just like, I'm so uninterested, and walked away. And I'm really sorry. If I've never told you I'm sorry, I'm so sorry for that. I was not nice. I don't know what was wrong with me.
You have apologized, but
okay.
The
damage is already done.
The damage is done. It still stings. It's a scar that will always be there.
I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. So I was not interested. I was kind of just like moving on, and we stopped talking for a while. We didn't hang out or anything. And then I don't even think we messaged on Facebook or anything like that. And I don't know what changed, but it was April of 2007, right?
Yeah.
April of 2007.
That's when your brother got married.
My brother and his fiance at the time, his wife, were getting married, and he came with like teammates who were invited, and I don't know what changed, but we were like just vibing each other. And I just remember I just found a picture the other day, and we were just like sitting at a table like talking and laughing, and I think we danced together, and we were talking all night, and we were just like, you know, when you like keep going back to the person, like we just kept kind of hanging out and sticking out together. And then when he left, I walked him out to his car that night. I remember it's all fuzzy, but it was sweet. And then from there, we were starting to stay connected, and we were like talking more, and then we started hanging out. So I went from being completely uninterested to like, oh my goodness, I am into this guy. So I think we officially started dating in June, right?
Yeah, June.
So, yes, we
officially, but from April until June,
yeah,
we were dating, basically.
No, we were hanging out. But you're right. It was like
hanging out. I'm saying
we were hanging out, but it was like official,
like almost every day.
Yes,
so
it was official. We were boyfriend and girlfriend by June, and then. Yes. And then I think like 2 months after that, I was like, listen, buddy, I think you're my husband. So if you don't propose by Christmas, I'm just going to go find my husband. So I gave him an ultimatum. Again, who was I? That's so bizarre. We were dating officially for 2 months, and I was like, gotta lock this down. I felt like I was so old and that my time was running out, and I was 19 or 20. So he proposed in October, and I think maybe we'll do another podcast episode going into all of that. So I'm going to stop at the proposal. Okay.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay. So he proposed in October. So that was 4 months after we were officially dating. And he, totally crushed the deadline of Christmas and did it 2 months earlier. So it actually happened on our 4-month dating anniversary. So we'll stop it there and we'll go into the rest of the details from engagement on in maybe our next episode. But that, I mean, did I cover all my bases?
You did okay.
Okay, you're up. Better up.
So, the real version, the true version of this story.
Can I put my legs under you? Thank you.
It's first, I guess my version starts before she even knew who I was, maybe. And I have this really vivid memory of leaving a game. So this was our junior year in college. And we didn't officially meet until my senior year in college. But I have this vivid memory of we're walking out of the building to the bus. And let's fix it. So I have this vivid memory of walking out of the gym with the team, and we're walking down this sidewalk to go and load the bus. And as we're walking on the bus, I'm walking next to a teammate of mine named Jason, and I hear a ringtone. So back then, your phones were ringtones, like there were songs. I don't know if people still do that or not, but it was a Chris Brown song, and that's what my ringtone was. So I thought it was my phone. I pulled out my phone, I looked, and I was like, oh, it's not my phone. And I turned around, and there was Megan walking with her dad. And of course I didn't know it was her dad at the time, but I just assumed. And so she looks at her phone, and then she didn't answer it. But then she goes back to talking with her dad, and she's like, has this huge, like, poofy blonde hair, like crazy. And she's saying to her dad, like, I'm going to drive back. And he's like, fine, whatever. And for some reason, I was just like, first, I knew she was, like, with us, like her and her dad was with our group, because they were, like, walking in our group. So I asked Jason, I'm like, hey, who's that girl over there? And Jason, I probably wouldn't have even gone any deeper with this conversation, but his response was weird. He was like, oh, nope. And I was like, what? He's like, nope. I'm like, what? I'm just asking who she is. You know who she is? And he's like, yeah, I know who she is. I'm not telling you. And I'm like, why? I'm just curious. So we get on the bus, and we're sitting next to each other, and I'm like, I don't understand why. He's like, because I know you're not supposed to date a teammate's sister. And I was like, I'm not going to try to go talk to her. I'm just curious who she is, because I've never seen her before. It's my first time seeing her. And then he told me, like, that's Kyle's sister. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was a whole year prior to us ever interacting. And that was it. And then I would see her at games. So I knew, like, oh, that's one of Kyle's sisters, nothing to it. But fast forward to it was probably February of 2007. And we were at the club, Spin nightclub. And I was there with my teammates. So this is where she's not telling the full truth here, okay? She's not telling the full truth. So I was with a group of teammates. So there's clearly, probably 5 of us from our basketball team there. So she's at a lot of games. So there's clearly more than just me on the team that's at the game. So I'm standing there. She comes up to me, and she goes, hi. She introduces herself.
Because I'm pretty sure we had, like, chatted on Facebook.
No, we had never chatted on Facebook.
I wish we could get the receipts.
No, we chatted on Facebook after, because I reached out to you afterwards. Oh. But I'll get there. So I'm standing there, chilling. I do have my glasses on. It worked for me. She comes up. She's like, hi, I'm Megan. She introduces herself. I'm like, yeah, I know you're Kyle's sister, right? And we get to chatting, and then she's like, she did say, I'll give her that, can you not tell my brother, that you saw me here? And I was like, yeah, no problem. I get it. I understand. Whatever. All good. So she, walks away. I'm still there hanging out with the guys. She's dancing or whatever. And then she came back. And she starts talking again. I'm talking with her, and I'm like, cool, yeah, all right. And then she leaves. And I'm hanging out again. And then she comes back a third time.
There was not a third
Yes.
time.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
completely falsified.
Nope, it is not. And the third time you came back, she's like, why aren't you dancing?
Oh, I think I do
Yeah.
remember.
Oh,
Not the third time, but I do
Yes,
think I remember,
no.
like, why aren't you dancing?
No, you're like, why
Because
don't
who
you
comes
dancing?
to the club and just sits there?
Why are you so concerned?
With sunglasses?
Why are you so concerned?
Well, why are you such a lame-o?
So she comes back, why aren't you dancing? And she asked me to dance, like, do you want to go dance? And I'm like, no, I don't really dance.
Did I
just hanging
really?
out. Yes, you did. Yep, you did.
I am bold. Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, no, I'm just, hanging out. It's all, that's all right. But after that, so we didn't exchange numbers or anything. It was after that, I think I talked to someone else I was talking to had mentioned you at Concordia. It was like, oh yeah, Kyle's sister, she comes to the games. And I was like, oh yeah.
I was at every game.
Yeah.
Like my whole family.
Yeah. And then I messaged you on Facebook because I was kind of like, she seemed like she was clearly putting off vibes that like, hey, I want you to like, she wanted me to ask her for her number, but I was like, no, she's the younger sister of one of my teammates. I'm not going to do that. But I was like, you know what? So I messaged you on Facebook. We started talking back and forth on Facebook.
Have you scrolled back on Facebook to like see our first messages?
Remember we tried that, like,
and
it wouldn't let you get to a certain number of years
that
back.
would be so interesting to see.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we tried that like a few years ago, and it stopped at like, I don't know, 2010 or something. It was weird.
Darn.
Yep. But so started talking on Facebook. During this time, I actually was born again. So it was a season of my life where I just didn't like the way I was living anymore, and just everything just came to a halt for me in terms of like wanting to live my life for Christ. And I was born again. And we actually, this part you skipped. Our first date actually wasn't the movies.
Okay.
Our first date was you came over to my apartment and we hung out.
Yes.
And I don't think it was planned.
Yes.
It was more of a, we were talking and you're like, oh, I'm in the area. And I'm
Yes.
like, okay, swing by.
Okay, yes. That was
Yep.
the first date. Was premonition the second date?
That was like, nope.
Or just, why is it such a pertinent
Because
memory for me then?
premonition was after the wedding when we both were kind of like, all right, we want to do this. And that
Now it just makes it look like I have a horrible memory, and then everyone's going to think that your side of the story is correct.
It is.
Okay.
So anyways, on this first date, the thing that stuck out to me the most was that she shared her faith with me. She talked about her relationship with Jesus. She talked about what she wanted out of her life, that she wanted a family, and all of it lined up to exactly what I wanted and really what I knew, the kind of partner I knew I needed at that time during that season for myself. And that's what really drew me to her. I was like, whoa, like I haven't met a single girl in my, at the time I think I was 21 years, 22 years, that has ever like talked about their faith with me. And, basically she was in a place that I was in that moment. And it was just like, something felt like, okay, wow.
Just out here witnessing on first dates.
So, yeah, she was. I thought it was weird.
Let me tell you about Jesus.
If I look back at it,
Yeah.
I'm like, that is kind of weird. It's like I invited her over here thinking, maybe we might make out or something, and she busted into a full sermon. But it was like, hey, that's exactly what I needed, exactly what I really wanted, and it was just like, wow, like, so I was sold after the first date. Well, I don't know if you call it a date. After the first time we hung out, I was sold. I was like, wow, okay. She isn't normally the type of girl I would go after, because obviously after she shared what she shared, like I was like, okay, she's a pastor's kid, church girl, like It's not. I've never dated anyone like her before, and she was a little awkward. You were a little awkward. You're a little quirky. Like
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
a little
Proudly
quirky.
so.
She definitely was different.
Are you going to tell the Pina Colada song story?
Oh, sure, I can tell you the story. So I was sold, okay, and then we did hang out. I think the next time we hung out was with your cousin and one of my teammates named Marlon. We all hung out at the apartment, and that part you got perfect. You're right on.
How horrible of a person I was.
We were hanging out, the four of us, and all of a sudden Megan gets up. She walks into her room. We didn't think anything of it. I thought maybe she went to the bathroom. About 20 minutes later, I'm like, what's going on? And I look over to her cousin. I'm like, what is she coming back out? What's up? Is she okay? She's like, she's not interested. And I remember being like, what? Okay. So I was like, and Marlon and I drove separately. So I was just like, all right, man, because he was going to stay. I was like, all right, I'm out of here. I left. We didn't talk for weeks after that. I was just like, all right, well, I was wrong about her. So that's that. We didn't talk for weeks after that, I don't believe. Mm-hmm. And then we saw each other at your brother's wedding. Mm-hmm. And
why do you think it was so different that night? Like, what changed?
I don't know. Maybe some other guy came in the mix and you...
Oh, yeah. I had so many guys in the mix.
That's what I thought. I don't know. So... Oh, are we recording?
Yes.
So... Then we get to the wedding, which was about 2 months after we first had a conversation at Spin nightclub. So funny,
like
timeline. That's where our story started. Spin nightclub.
Let's make a new story.
Yeah. So about 2 months after Spin nightclub, after exchanging messages on Facebook and hanging out a couple of times. One time where it went really good. The other time where it went really bad to the point where she left me in the other room.
Let's move on.
So fast forward to the wedding. We saw each other at the wedding. I don't know what was different, but we just hit it off. We danced, we talked.
I feel like we were like magnets to each other all night. We just like kept going back to each other and like sticking together.
Yeah. And it's funny, I recall everyone that was from the basketball team that was invited, they all left. So everyone came to the they went to the wedding and then the reception, and then they left, a little bit after the reception started, and I was the only one still there. And I guess I didn't realize it because I was just so like, we were hanging out, we were talking. We were like this. But after the fact, I remember her brother saying, yeah, I kept wondering, like, why is Seaborn still here? Like, what is he doing? And
I guess it was just like mostly just family there.
Yeah, it was
at
just
that point.
family left, family and friends. And here I was, just there hanging out with you. But yeah, I do remember you walking me to my car after the reception. And I remember us talking about hanging out again. And then I feel like after that point, we even talked on the phone that night. And then I felt like we talked almost every day and we hung out almost every day. And things really picked up really fast.
Really
from that
quick.
point on.
Yeah.
So it was, that was mid-April. And then by the end of June, I was already like starting to go to church with you and your family on Sundays. I had already hung out with you and your family a few times. And then at the end of June, we made it official, started dating. So that was June of 2007. He asked me to be his
girlfriend.
Yes, I asked her.
It was really sweet.
In a very, very
over-the-top
way. I had...
Very over the top. I loved it.
Yeah, I had a friend come and sing to her, and then after he was done singing, I asked her to be my girlfriend.
It was so romantic. It was like Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was.
There's another man
was,
singing to me, but
yeah, it was too much. Too much.
I loved it. I appreciated the effort.
Yeah. So that was June of 2007, and then yeah, by October of 2007, like again, it was like I felt like we got a year's worth of time together in that 6-month time frame.
We were together all the time.
Is that even 6 months? June, July, August, September, October, 4 months.
It was 4 months.
So like
from dating to engagement, it was 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like fast and furious.
Yeah, yeah,
and everybody thought we were crazy.
Yeah.
But I think we should, in the next episode, we should talk about the engagement and like when you called my dad. We should say that story. And then just like what that next piece of our life looked like. Mm-hmm. But I took notes because I didn't want to forget what we wanted to mention on here. I wanted to say that we went to this marriage retreat, I don't know, like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Just for funsies. We weren't like in turmoil or anything. We just went for a weekend together there. And they asked a question, something along the lines of, like, when did you know that you fell in love with each other or something like that? It was like, when did you know that you were the one for each other and that you fell in love and that you wanted to build your life together? And we both looked at each other and we were like, we don't like totally know when that point was, but we knew. And I think it started the first time we hung out and we had that conversation because we knew that we would be good together because our vision for what we wanted out of life was aligned.
Yep. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, it wasn't like love at first sight.
Maybe that was the question. It was like did you have love at first sight or something?
But it was definitely confirmation at, for me. And I didn't know you that well, but I felt like I knew you really well after that conversation on that first night we hung out. And to me, it was like I knew that you would be a good fit for me in that moment. I knew it. I wasn't in love with you yet, but I was like, whoa, we aligned really well. She could be a great wife. Yeah. Like I knew that at that moment.
Yeah. Like it wasn't like love at first sight for either of us. It was that first time like getting to know each other. It was like, oh, our vision for what we want out of life is so aligned that we could see ourselves walking with each other through life and that we would be.
Yeah. I mean, clearly you didn't know it at that point because the next time we hung out, so it took you a while, but it's okay. It took
me a while.
I knew.
I was a silly little girl.
It's still taking you a while for you to realize that you were in fact interested in me, which is why you came back to me a third time at Spin. It's okay. You're still in denial about it.
No, hold on. There was something that you said when you were telling that story that I was like, it like made me remember feeling a certain way in that moment. And I was like, maybe I was slightly.
In 17 years, guys, this is the first time. We've talked about this a lot, even with people. Yeah. It's the first time she's actually said that. She's actually admitting to it. 17 years.
You know what you didn't mention?
Well, 18 years if you count the...
years.
Yeah, 18 years.
Is that this man was so not used to a woman not being interested in him. And like it made him want to pursue me more. Because did you ever experience a woman not?
I mean, yes. There's women
You're
that
being
weren't
so
interested
humble.
in me, but I've never experienced what you did to me on that night.
No, I could. Okay, no. Besides,
I never experienced someone just getting up and walking away and just leaving me hanging.
My rudeness aside, I mean, like that. I was just like, nah, not interested, and you were like, wait, what? Like this isn't the usual for me.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. 100%.
Okay, and then share your pina colada story. I don't know when that was.
Oh, so
I don't know what timeline that was.
So that was after the wedding. So after the wedding,
when we were hanging out.
Hanging out a lot more. Well, no, after the wedding I felt like the wedding was a pivotal moment where it felt like the feelings were mutual for the first time. It was like
Yeah.
we both were like, okay, we're interested in each
Yeah.
other. Let's actually date. And I felt like our first date after the wedding was going to the movies. So I went and picked you up at your apartment in New Brighton.
Polynesian Village.
Polynesian Village.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that place. And I remember, for some reason, you drove. So we drove your purple Buick Skylark, which, oh my goodness, you guys, I wish I had photos. But she was a hairstylist, and you know, like the
Mannequins.
the mannequin heads that hairstylists use. It has like hair and mannequin. In the back of her Buick Skylark, in the window, so like there was like a little deck back there. She had a row of those mannequin heads.
No, I just had one. I just had a man.
No, there was like four of them.
No, there was just a man up there with like a bearded man with like long hair.
There were like four mannequin heads that were pointing to the back.
Out.
So I'm sure people that drove behind you are like, "What is this?" But anyways, so this Buick Skylark,
thing.
and we're on our way to the movies, and there's this song. It became kind of like a special song to us. Because the Pina Colada song, is there a name? What's the name? Is that what it's called? The Pina Colada. If you like Pina Coladas, getting caught in the rain. So she plays this song. We're driving. She's driving. And she just starts blasting. She turns it way up and just starts singing this song at the top of her. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is she doing? But for me, it was just like, she is very different, but I love the energy. I love that she was so confident in who she was and that she didn't care. It was like, I'm going to show this guy all of me, and I'm this like energetic, loud, quirky, weird person, and I'm going to be me. And I loved that about her.
But you thought it was
pretty
weird.
I love that about you.
Thank you.
I did think it was weird.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
It was like totally normal to me. I was like, why wouldn't I be having the windows? I think we were driving somewhere slower, and I was like, if you like pina colada, and then you were like, put the windows up. People are around.
Yeah. So.
But you still pursued me even though I was so weird.
Yeah, and even though you rejected me.
Even though I rejected you like multiple times. I feel like this podcast just makes me look out to be like.
I mean,
I did do some
facts are facts.
Yeah,
you know?
I admit I did some really rude things. I'm sad about some of those things that I did. I really am sorry. I really am. But look at where we are now.
Look at where we are.
You know,
yeah,
we made it through, man. And we never would have thought that we'd be together. So when anybody's like, I'm not really into them, or I don't like this, or I don't like that, I'm like, we're going on 17 years, and I didn't really like it at first either. Oh. I mean, I'm like, don't base it off of, I mean, we hung out, we talked, we didn't like get to know each other depth, but I don't know what was wrong with me, but I'm like, God can do anything, and you can't, like, don't make such abrupt decisions about people off the bat, or even a few dates in.
Or, like, based off of their name. Because there's more to people than their name.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, like...
I admit that was so dumb, and now I love it, and I have your name tattooed on me now, okay? So I feel like I've rectified that situation, right?
Do you want to tell them where it's?
For our anniversary. What anniversary was it?
Oh, you're actually going to tell
I will. I don't care. We know that I talk about anything. What anniversary was it?
I don't know.
It was like 2022, I want to say. So I don't know. It was like for 15. I got Siebes tattooed on my booty cheek, and he knew I was supposed. I got it tattooed like a week before, and like a couple days before. I was going to surprise him. He literally walked up to me in the kitchen and like pulled my shorts or whatever, and you were like, "Did you get a tattoo on your butt?" And I was like, "How did you know?" Do you remember that?
I don't.
You did something and you like knew, and I was like, "That was supposed to be a surprise for our anniversary," but I'm like, I have your name tattooed on me forever, so that means a lot. Okay, I've gotten over the name thing. Now I love your name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's still always gonna be that scar.
Back scratch moment.
Yeah, back scratch moment. We'll have to tell them about the back scratch moment one day.
No, there's another horrible story about me. It's another. Everyone's just going to think I'm a sucky wife, okay? And a really bad person.
You're an amazing wife. You're an amazing wife.
But back scratch moment story is a really another bad story about me. We can share it. I can put it all out there. I have made mistakes.
Let's save that for another.
We will save it for another day.
Episode.
I will say, I do tell people that you are absolutely incredible, that you've stuck with me, because I'm kind of a mess. I'm kind of all over the place, and you've stuck with me through everything. So thank you. I love you.
I love you.
So there we go.
Well,
this was fun. You kind of liking the phrase, right? It's kicking in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kicking in.
This was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 2 about how we met. Episode 3 will be proposal, engagement,
Oh, okay.
into wedding. Because we should talk about the wedding.
The wedding.
The wedding. That was a hoot.
The wedding was interesting.
It was very interesting. We'll do that one next for you guys.
We'll have to show photos too.
Oh my gosh, we
Can
totally
we do that?
should. We totally should.
We should.
Yeah, it's worth it for you to see
It
things. It was funny after the wedding hearing other people's stories of their experience and their thoughts of the wedding. Because that was...
Yeah, I think, definitely all the stories that I heard made me reflect more on it afterwards. And I was like, whoa, yeah.
Oh, just you guys wait. Tune in next week for the story of our engagement and wedding. All right, well, this was fun, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.